Evil Dead Burn is turning to ash at the box office. Evil Dead Burn is the sixth installment in the iconic horror franchise, which kicked off with a trilogy of Sam Raimi movies starring Bruce Campbell. The movie, which is largely a stand-alone, follows Alice Price, Suhaila Yaqub, spending time with her in-laws at an isolated home following her husband's funeral, only for their already tense dynamic to be complicated when they are besieged by Kandarian demons. It had a quiet debut on July 10, premiering at number 4 with a lukewarm domestic haul of $13.7 million. Per Variety, in spite of its middling debut, Evil Dead Burn is now projected to have a sharp drop with a 3-day domestic total of $4.7 million that sees it on track to earn a sophomore drop of 65.7%. If this number holds, the movie will break the record for the biggest week 2 drop of the entire franchise, with the caveat that the original The Evil Dead came out at a time when box office records were spotty, and may have had a regional release during its first few weekends that doesn't lend itself to a direct comparison with its nationally released follow-ups. See a breakdown of the week 2 drops of the Evil Dead movies. Given the fact that it has already earned the franchise's lowest debut in more than 30 years by a wide margin, this drop cements the fact that Evil Dead Burn is breaking Evil Dead Rise's trend of the new installment in the franchise debuting below the previous movie but showing stronger retention in the long run and outgrossing it. However, while the movie is turning out a disappointing result compared to its immediate predecessors, it is still on relatively solid ground. Its relatively slim reported budget of $20 million means that it most likely only need to earn $50 million worldwide in order to break even. Evil Dead Burn had already earned $30.5 million worldwide ahead of its sophomore weekend, so it should still be on track to become a modest success. Evil Dead Burn's box office performance is also not going to directly impact the future of the Evil Dead franchise. The upcoming sequel Evil Dead Wrath, which was officially announced in April 2024, is already in post-production, having wrapped principal photography this May. The movie is set to debut in theaters on April 7, 2028, and it is likely the box office of that installment that will make or break the immediate future of the franchise. If it has similarly diminishing returns, Evil Dead Wrath could potentially prevent any more sequels from being greenlit for some time. However, it is possible that it could help the franchise rebound, given the fact that it also seems to be largely a standalone title. While the precedent set by Evil Dead Burn implies that Wrath will have some story and character ties to both Burn and Rise, the plot seems entirely separate, as the movie will be a prequel to the original movie, taking place in 1972. Evil Dead Wrath also brings in a new writer-director, the last stop in Yuma County's Francis Gallupi, helming a fresh ensemble cast full of franchise newcomers, including Zach Gilford, Friday Night Lights, Midnight Mass, Jessica McNamee, Home and Away, Charlotte Hope, Game of Thrones, Josh Hellman, X-Men, Days of Future Past, and Ella Newton, Dangerous Animals. Because it feels so fundamentally different from Evil Dead Burn, there's every chance it could connect with audiences in a way the latest installment has failed to.